Have you ever caught yourself being too much of something? Too positive, too excited, too much in control, too cautious, too guarded? Maybe the one with the best clothes, maybe the one with the expensive brands, or maybe you are the life of the party, or maybe it's just eating, drinking, shopping, or working way more than you really need to. These are what I call overcompensating behaviors, and we all do them, myself included. The reason I was a chronic people pleaser for most of my life is because I was overcompensating for something. But I didn't always see it that way, right? I didn't see it that way. I saw it as being good, being somebody who followed the rules, being somebody who got accepted in society for doing that, right? And when I did the deeper work to understand why I was chronically trying to please everybody, why I was chronically conflict averse, that's when I understood that I was actually seeking validation on the outside, right? I was seeking validation from people who were around me. And somehow I had created this belief in my head that when I did these things, when I behaved in this way, I would get the recognition I deserve. I would get the acceptance that I crave. I would get the validation that I seek so longingly, right? So let's talk about overcompensating behaviors today. I work with clients all the time where I can see those behaviors clearly now, right? And I help them work on peeling the layers of their old conditioning so they can identify some of these behaviors, right? And it can look different for everybody. Like you might not realize you're even doing something like that until you start to think about it, right? So that's why I wanted to make this episode today to talk about overcompensating behaviors. Where are you being too much? Right? How are you showing up in a way that might be too much? And what is it that you are compensating for? The truth is that whenever we lean into these behaviors, it's usually not about the behavior, it's about what we're covering up for underneath, right? And that's why I like to go deep into every single situation, right? Think of it like painting over cracks in the wall. The wall looks perfect, but the crack is still there waiting to be exposed, right? So, are you avoiding sadness? Are you hiding loneliness? Are you trying to prove your worth because deep down you feel like you are not enough? And it's normal for all of us to feel this way, right? Sometimes being overly positive and overly cheery is an actually could actually be a way of saying, if I smile big enough, I won't feel the pain that I'm trying to avoid feeling, right? Sometimes, when you are the life of the party, right, you might actually be so afraid to share your true feelings or be silent enough long enough that it might be easier for you to be this outgoing, robust person all the time, right? Because now you don't have to deal with the real feelings that come up, right? Sometimes people like to be in charge, right? In control. And that can be a sign of leadership. But if it's too much, and if you're trying to control every aspect of your life or take charge everywhere you are, it could be about fearing the loss of control and what will happen if you didn't have control over a situation, right? Because when you control a situation, you know how it's going to go. But not having control could be a sign of fear of the unknown or fear of what could go wrong. It could be a sign of perfectionism coming through, right? Like if I don't have control, I can't do this perfectly. And if I let go of control, it won't get done perfectly. If it doesn't get done perfectly, it's my neck on the line. And now I have to pay the price and I will not be appreciated or validated or accepted the way that I know how to get accepted, validated, or appreciated. You see how it's all connected? But here's the thing, you and I were not put here on this earth to suppress our emotions. That's what society has taught us. We were meant to feel them, we were meant to express them, we were meant to process them and let them go, right? It's when we hold on or suppress our true feelings, that's when all of these sneaky coping mechanisms come into our behavior and we don't even realize it. Things like sarcasm. I know I can be really, a victim of that sarcasm gene, right? Because I couldn't have straight up conflicts with people. I couldn't straight up express my feelings. So sarcasm is how I was able to let it out, right? And I thought, oh, sarcasm is kind of cheeky and cool, right? But not really, because I'm avoiding feeling and saying and communicating what I'm truly trying to say, right? So let me ask you this. What would happen if you allowed yourself to feel instead of covering it up, hiding it, and then layering it with an overcompensating behavior? Think about it. This is a deep question, all right? Before you say, oh, I don't have anything like that, I invite you, I plead you, I urge you to think about it, right? Because if for just a moment you take off that mask that you've been wearing in front of people, who are you? And what if you could just say to yourself, not even to the world yet, right? Just say it to yourself. I'm sad today, or I feel insecure, or I've been playing the victim here, or I'm really lonely, and sit with that feeling for a moment and see what comes up for you. Because when you allow yourself to feel, you will be able to heal, right? Allow yourself to feel those emotions so you can deal with them and eventually heal your mind, body, and soul, right? And start becoming aware of where you might be showing up in a way that is overcompensating. Look around, and what do people always tell you? Oh, you're always so organized. You're always so perfect. You're always so nice. You're always so easy to work with. I got that one a lot. Every time from my photography business days, people would be like, I love how easy you are to work with. And that made me feel good, right? And it also meant on the flip side that I could never be difficult to work with. So I always had to be extra nice. Now that I have acknowledged my behavior, I have challenged it, I have peeled and peeled and healed from that overcompensating behavior. Now I understand that there are times when I have to be open and honest with my clients, with my relationships. And I don't need to always be nice, right? So maybe I don't hear it as often as I used to, that I'm easy to work with, but I'm aware that I don't have to be easy to work with, right? It's nice, yes, wherever I feel like it's aligned, but if it feels misaligned, I'm allowed to speak up. So understanding that overcompensation is a signal, it's not a solution. It's a flashing light that says, look here, something deeper needs attention, right? And when you give yourself permission to dig into that feeling instead of painting over it a pretty picture, that's where real work begins. That's where real healing begins, right? Because underneath the mask is a version of you that doesn't need to be protected or covered up or hidden, right? So just being you in your truest, authentic sense involves understanding who you are, involves peeling the layers, involves dealing with these coping skills and behaviors and mechanisms that we have inbuilt in our mind and are subconsciously practicing without even knowing anything is wrong, right? So I invite you today to peel that mask, look at that version of you that's underneath the mask. Learn to love it fully, wholly, completely, right? And the next time you find yourself reaching for that mask, pause, right? Whether it's that fake smile, or it's that I'm okay, everything's great, wonderful, wonderful, or it's that shopping, the urge to shop for the next big brand, or to eat or drink more than you need to, or the need to be right, or the need to control. Pause. Pause and ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? What am I afraid that people might see if I stopped overcompensating in this way? And then bravely sit with it, because your emotions aren't here to destroy you. They are here to guide you back to your true self. I hope this inspires you to take a deeper look at who you are behind the mask that you put on for the world. And once you learn to love that true, authentic self, you won't need any more masks again. So you can be your true self, and everybody will love you so much more for it, because you will be in full alignment with who you're supposed to be. So let me know what comes up for you as you listen to this. I can't wait to hear, and for you to share this with anyone else you think might need it.